Do do do. I'm waiting to see if the sound comes up. Okay. It appears it is working. Yay. Yay. Okay. Welcome to Words Have Power. I'm Words. How you doing? Hopefully you're doing good. Hey, Phoenix, how you doing? What's up? I'm not sure who all is going to be here because, it's a Saturday night. So some house cleaning before we get started. Elle is home. She made it home yesterday, and she's doing better. She's still, basically under observation. Well, I was talking with her yesterday, the last time I spoke with her yesterday. Her doctor came by for a house visit to make sure, check on her, make sure she was okay. Her doctor came to her house with a nurse to make sure she was okay. Just checking in. So she wouldn't have to get up and go to the hospital and right on. That's good to know. Yeah, so I actually spoke with her doctor briefly, and because I was shocked when he went out, she was like, "Oh, this is my doctor," and whatever. And I'm like, "Wait, what?" So I actually talked with her doctor because he couldn't believe what she was saying about what medical care is like here in the US. He was under the assumption that medical care was like, you got state of the art treatment and all this and that. And she's like, no, indeed not. So I was telling him about some of my experiences, and he was just like shocked. Like, what? I was like, yeah, is that bad? Wait, where are you now, Phoenix? We have our co-host here too. It's a lot better in the EU and UK. A lot of people I know have moved over to Europe. Yep. And KCMO, Kansas City, Missouri. Oh, mm-mm. Oh, hell no. Michigan is way better. And then what? Oregon, New York, California, both ridiculously expensive, but absolutely not. You do not belong there. What are you doing? Do you want to say hi first before you run off? Let's say hi. Oh, thank you for the hug. Here, look. Say hi. She says, hi, I'm disgruntled kitty. Oh. Yes. This is the co-host who makes sure that I'm warm and toasty and lets me borrow her robe, which is technically mine. But it's her favorite place to sleep, so yeah. Yeah, so Ella's doing really, really good. They found gauze and a clamp thingy in her abdomen that was left by the doctors here in the US. So somehow she managed to, like, her family didn't let her pack things up and move things and all of that, thankfully. But she managed to go from the US to another country on a long flight, okay, made it there, and the doctors there saved her life. And the doctors there do house calls with a nurse to make sure that their patients are okay. So they don't have to get up and go to the hospital right after surgery for a checkup or any of that. The doctor comes to them and is like, what are we even doing here in the US? What are we doing? Kitty agrees. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Yep. Uh-huh. There you go. Is that better? Oh, you guys might get to hear her goofy purrs. I don't know if she's gonna do it though. She like does this purr meow thing that I have not been able to catch on camera. Okay, so the title of this is Women's Right to Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Happiness. So in Texas, they're trying to push covenant marriages. The GOP and them are talking about doing away with no-fault divorce. And they're talking about making covenant marriages to where you have to have the husband's permission to divorce. Okay? So if you're in a DV situation, you're not going to get that permission. So you're just going to be stuck there. What are we doing? We're in a post-excess society that continues to allow for unnecessary waste because heaven forbids people have what they need. I mean, so we're supposed to have, there's supposed to be a thing, no taxation without representation, right? Like that was the whole reason this whole country was started in the first place, right? But that's men. What about women? What about women? Women weren't added into the Constitution by the founding fathers, but the founding mothers wanted us to be. Abigail Adams wrote letters saying women, there should be provisions for women in the Constitution because some individual men want to be tyrants in their own homes. She was ignored. It doesn't have to be this way, though. We can all step up, call the National Archives and all of our representatives and demand that their ratification be filed. And then that would open up full rights for women as citizens. And if you want, I can do, I will just do a live stream about that. That's one of the things I was working on for a long time, actually. Only if we let it. It doesn't have to be that way. There is hope. Everyone, we can all go to Planned Parenthood, their website. They are mobilizing and opening the doors to people who want to volunteer to help fix all this mess. Also, local LGBTQ plus communities all over the country. Just go to either of those places or both. Go to the Trevor Project, go to these places and mobilize, activate, step up right now. We have time. We have a window of time where we can force things to be fair and equitable for everyone in this country. We can do that. We just all have to step up and do it. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Like now, actually. So, if y'all don't mind, go hit that like button and do all the things. I would very much appreciate it. Share this video on all of your social media apps. Very much appreciate that. Okay, so if you look at the description of this video, you're going to see, hold on one second. You're going to see all kinds of links in the description. Uh-oh. Hold on. Kitty girl's going to throw up. Oh, no, kitty baby. Oh, okay. I know. All right. I will leave you alone. Oh, did you eat a bug again? Yeah. No. Okay. She got an upset stomach. The co-host is not happy. All right. So if you look in the description, you'll find all kinds of links that talk about what life was like for women pre-Roe here in the US of A. Now, in my studies for being a victim's advocate, part of what we went into was watching documentaries and videos about life pre-Roe for women. And when I tell you listening to their lived experiences was harsh, okay? You had women who jumped off of roofs, like garage roofs, house roofs, whatever, to try to end a pregnancy, or would sit there and either drink or Lysol, bleach, whatever, to try to end a pregnancy. There was one woman, I forget her name now, but she had, I think it was 2 or 3 children, and during World War II, her husband came back on leave. They were intimate, she got pregnant, and she went and had to find someone who would do the procedure for her, and she was unalived. And here's why she was unalived. Because when you enforce prohibitions like this, you create a black market, and that black market is more than likely going to be extremely unsafe. And with something like medical care, you don't know if those tools have been sanitized. You don't know what they're going to try to use. You don't know. I mean, they could be a mechanic. In fact, there were mechanics who were doing abortions. There were people from all walks of life doing them. In unsanitary situations, many of those women did not live. It's estimated that the count of women who were unalived in back alley abortions, somewhere in the millions. But sometimes the cause of death would be marked as poisoning, accidental poisoning, or some such. So it's hard to gauge how many women were unalived because there was a lack of basic medical care. This is basic medical care. So when you have, let's look at prohibitions for just a second. You have the prohibition against alcohol. That led to a black market where alcohol was still being produced, sold, and used. But it turned into criminal-owned, operated operations. And that led to an uptick in crime, in pew-pewings and all kinds of things, right? That's how you got families like the Kennedys. That's how they became wealthy. They were rum runners. You have a prohibition against SW work. What do you end up with? You end up with a black market. And that's how you came up with the Trump family. Bet you didn't know that. Trump's like grandpa or great grandpa, whoever it was, had a brothel. That's how they gained their wealth. Prohibition against drugs. Guess who came into their wealth through that? And the drugs prohibition was used to criminalize people of color and wipe out whole communities. The crack epidemic, for example. I have to shut this door. My cats don't like a closed door. Okay, so now that Roe has been overturned, and mind you, Roe was about medical privacy. That's what it was about. Roe was more about the medical aspect, doctors and nurses and such, and not so much about women's rights. And that's part of the problem with Roe. And that's part of the reason the ERA is so important, because that goes more into the needs of women. And here's a shocker. Here's a shocker. I'm gonna tell you a shocker right here. Oh my God, it's a shock. Women are human. Oh my God. It's such a shocker. What? Women are human? What? Huh? Just like trans people are human, and people of color are human, and men are human. It's yes, it does. Yes, it does. Literally, denying women access to reproductive health care leads to infertility and death. Death. So who is actually like pro-life is certainly not the people who say they're pro-life. They're not pro-life. They're pro-forced birth. They are pro-suffering. They are pro-punishing women for having sex. Exactly. Hey, Sleepy, how you doing? It's good to see you. Yep. Roe did a lot of things. Roe did a lot of things. So the overturning of Roe is going to hit everybody, including men, and including those so-called pro-lifers. They're not pro-lifers. We have to start calling them what they are: forced birthers. That's what they are. Forced punishment for anyone with a uterus. And it doesn't matter how old you are. If you're 9 and you get knocked up, ARD. But to them, you should be forced to have that baby. You're a child, but you should be forced to have a child. Which, by the way, will more than likely destroy that child's uterus, if not unalive them. This is America, y'all. Y'all, this is America. Land of the free, home of the brave. And if you're a woman, you better be damn brave. If you're a little girl, a teenage girl, a trans person, a person of color, LGBTQ+, you better be very brave. I'm just going to say this. Your father's an idiot. Your father is an idiot. Your father drank the Flavor Aid, and with what comes, I have no sympathy for people like that. They'll see, but by the time they see, it'll be too late. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, with RFK Jr., oh my fucking God, what the fuck is even happening? Him and his brain worm, apparently, are gonna be, the dude doesn't believe in vaccinations. What the fuck? So when the Black Plague comes back and the Black Death comes back and wipes out whole towns, oh well, thoughts and prayers, I guess. Like, what the... Y'all, what the fuck? Wow. But insurance companies are going to be able to do whatever the fuck they want now. And you got people who don't even know that The ACA is Obamacare. They like the ACA, but they don't like Obamacare. Bitch, it's the same thing. What the fuck, dude? Like, ivermectin. Oh, God. What's ivermectin? It's apparently it helps you. It helps you with with COVID, except it doesn't. And they think they're being dewormed, but really they're pooing out their intestinal lining and stomach lining and all kinds of other stuff that you really don't want that to happen. But Trumpy Poo said it was good, so here we go. Jesus. Yeah, it's not meant for humans, but whatever, dude. I mean, so, now that Roe has been overturned and, doctors are scared to help people and whatnot, you don't just have like food deserts now, you have doctor deserts and hospital deserts and OBGYN deserts because they're all leaving out. They're like, well, I'm not going to prison. So what happened before Roe? There was a lot of things that happened before Roe, okay? For example, you had the Jane Project, which was a group of women who came together and offered poor women, mostly women of color, reproductive health care. And it wasn't just abortions, it was also pap smears and pelvic exams. And, and for many of those women, it was the first time they'd ever had reproductive medical care. Was through a group of women who weren't even doctors, but were shown how to do all of this. And were doing everything they could to help women. And guess what? Guess what? Guess what? The local Chicago police knew what they were doing and let them do it because they realized they wouldn't have so many bodies in the morgue. They wouldn't have so many women in the infectious miscarriage ward. They had special wards for women who had botched abortions back in the day. That was a thing. Now they just send you out to the parking lot to bleed out to death. The videos, all the videos, they're linked in the description. There's way more. I only chose a handful, okay? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 videos in there right now. There's way more. You can go look for yourself and see what it was like before Roe. You can see that for yourself so that you know what's coming. If you have women in your life that you care about here in the US, you need to know what's coming. Death for women, teenage girls, and little girls, and elderly women, and just women in general, really, and, also all of the other minority communities. Everyone. Oh, also the Blood Tribe is currently targeting LGBTQ plus spaces. Do you know about them? They're a bunch of whack jobs who roll up in their U-Hauls where they're in the back and they come out and they wear red and black and they think they're all tough and badass and strong and it's all a big sausage fest and they're all in the fucking closet. And they hate themselves. And they are the badasses of the movement, if you know what I'm saying. But I guarantee you, most of the ones I've seen wouldn't last 5 seconds in a fight with me. I would break them in half. Wait. The Blood Tribe. The Blood Tribe. The Blood Tribe. They're a bunch of neo-Nazi, pathetic. They're so tough. Yeah, sure, dude. Okay. There's some of the ones that they're like the weekend warriors who will like do their marches, but oh God, listen, if you ever want to laugh, look them up, okay? Mitsomatas, hello, hi, how you doing? I got a question for the right. If 9 is not too young, why isn't also the same for trans youth to socially transition? Thank you. See, they don't think things through. Nuance and context and critical thinking skills and rational thought missed them the second they were conceived, and they should have been swallowed by their mama. Nick Fuentes, he's a prime example of an idiot who lives in his mommy's basement, for real, not even kidding. He's living in his mommy's basement, and he has decided that to open his whole mouth and say, your body, my choice, and on top of that, has decided that he is going to own all of the women. Him and the GOP, they're going to own all women. Here's the thing. He's a virgin. His own admission, he's a virgin. He's not a virgin, though, and here's why. He's eyeball deep in the fucking closet. He's on Grindr. He's already been shown to have been on Grindr. And many of these GOP asshats are also on Grindr. That's why every time the GOP has their little get-togethers, their little gatherings, right? Grindr fucking blows up, okay? Because they're all in the fucking closet. So to all of the LGBTQ plus people out there, y'all need to publicly out them. We can't be nice about this anymore. We cannot be nice about this anymore. Are they going to be nice when they allow a 10-year-old to have a baby? Or force a 10-year-old to have a child after being AR'd? Maybe that protective custody should involve an alligator party. Or, a long session with several pro-doms or lifestylers, just, doms in general. Maybe what he needs is a leather bear daddy. Maybe that is what his problem is. I mean, he is the black mold. He's the toxic mold in that basement. I don't know who his daddy was, but I would pay to see that. I would also help. I would. So, listen, you don't even understand. Yeah, right? Throughout history, there's always a breaking point with women where they will not take any more BS. There always is throughout history. That's how Aqua Tofana came up. Men were abusing women so badly that they were like, oh, here, hold your tea. Why don't you drink that tea? Don't think about what's in it, though. What is it going to take this time for women all over the country to wake up and realize their lives are on the line? But not just their lives. Teenage girls, little girls, it's everyone. Men are going to be negatively affected by this too. Hey, men, do you want everyone out there knowing that you have an ED? Because you have no medical privacy now. Your insurance company can go check out your medical records, and who knows? Maybe women should start legislating men's bodies the same way men have been trying to legislate women's bodies. Maybe it's about time to start showing them what it's like to have men do this shit. I mean, seriously. If you have one R accusation against you, your shit is packed and you are deported to wherever it is that your ancestors came from. Bye, Felicia. Sound good to me? Yeah, sounds good to me. How about you? I think that sounds awesome. I mean, if we're not gonna even have them get to the point of being in a courtroom, the percentages on men who face any amount of jail time, prison time, anything, any consequences at all for R is astonishing. When you consider how many R kits are sitting there not even tested right now. I mean, I think we should. People make fun of her all the time. She was heavily abused. She did not do that for no apparent reason. That there was a very valid reason for what she did. What was that one atoll that was used as a nuclear testing site? Bikini Atoll? Yeah, that sounds fair. We are. We are. Yeah. So, according to Project 2025, what they are planning on doing, and it has already been said out loud and admitted that this is Trump's agenda, is to take away all rights from women, LGBTQ plus people, and people of color, atheists, agnostics, pagans, anyone who is not a cishet white man will not have rights in this country. But there's one more caveat. You have to be wealthy. So poor men, you're going to suffer too. And while you're suffering, I'm going to fucking laugh so hard. When you're looking for sympathy and you want me to feel bad about you, you want me to feel like something, anything for you, I'm going to be like, oh, what? Oh, thoughts and prayers, bitch. Thoughts and fucking prayers. When you harm women, guess what happens? The birth rate lowers, marriage rates lower, women are unalived or made infertile, your birth rate lowers. Women don't want to become pregnant in the first place because they don't want to risk their lives. Why should they? Common fucking sense and logic would be really, really good right about now. Yes, yes, they did. And then you have Decree 770. That was horrific. Horrific. On here, on YouTube, there are documentaries that show you what happened with Decree 770. And eugenics always comes into this too, because you have to know that women of color are probably going to be sterilized or just allowed to die. Yeah. How else can they cut down on people of color taking over this country? How else can they cut down on women taking over this country? This is an extinction burst. Toxic people, when they realize they're losing power and control and dominance, always resort to violence to maintain the power, control, and dominance. This is violence. I've been trying to warn people for ages. It's not just Project 2025. That's the more tweaked version of the Dominionist documents, the Seven Mountain Mandate, the Four Pillars, Rick Scott's 11-point plan. Oh, Jesus. It just goes on. There are so many. Project 2025 is like the tweaked, better thought out, full plan. And people are like, it's no big deal. Fucking for real? Jesus. Hey, Robin, how you doing? It's good to see you. No, they won't. They'll either unalive her, because we know that the most dangerous time for a woman or a teenage girl, to be fair, anyone with a uterus, the most dangerous time for anyone with a uterus is when they're pregnant. If that dude doesn't want her to be pregnant, she might be unalived or put on a plane and flown to another country to have an abortion. That's what used to happen back in the day. You'd go over to Europe for a vacation. Yeah. Yeah, I keep being told I'm a tinfoil hat wearer. Which, when I was telling people Roe is probably going to fall and you're going to hate life. People would be like, oh, you tinfoil hat. Oh my God. Conspiracy theorist. Roe fell. Yep. Since Reagan, I hope he's burning in hell, if there is a hell. I know that there is a space over there on the other side where you face yourself and all the fucked up shit you did. And there are no excuses. I know this from personal experience. I wasn't in that place. I was in the amazing, wonderful, love-filled place. But the other place, have fun with that, Reagan. Yep. Well, they want a dictatorship. They want a theocracy. They want an oligarchy. That's what they want. Apparently, a judge has blocked overtime pay. So they're going to do away with labor rights. You're not going to have any more labor rights. You're not going to have any more rights. You're not going to have rights to freedom of speech soon. Think about that. Anytime a democracy falls, people lose all their rights. That's what happens. Well, where are they now? Now that I think the Dems have been infiltrated by ops. So back when I was in the sheriff's department, there was a memo that came out, and I actually saw it, and it was warning PDs, police, all the branches of police, okay, law enforcement, that that Nazis were going to be infiltrating all areas of governance. This was before Katrina. And certain of my rank thought it was a joke. Didn't take it seriously. Here we are. Do you think that some of them maybe got into the FBI and other branches of governance? Hello. I can have my partner do that. I don't know how to do the things because I'm a bookworm. I'm basically a cleverly disguised stack of books. Okay, babe. Enjoy your D&D though. Right on. Wow. Yeah, so if you want to know what the future holds, look to the past. We already know what happens when you take the right to basic reproductive medical care away from women. We already know what happens. Women throw themselves down flights of stairs, out windows, or just straight up unalive themselves to avoid being pregnant. That's what happens. Or they have a miscarriage, ectopic pregnancy, or God knows what else, and are unalived. because of that, because the doctors cannot intercede. Because you have to go to a board first to get permission. And they're going to take away and do away with contraceptives. So that means that all of the STIs are going to go just, Jesus. The lunatics are running the country. That's what's going to happen very soon, unless everyone steps up, gets activated, gets motivated, and gets to work against it. Yeah. Unless something happens real quick, y'all are going to see the fall of democracy. And you're not ready. You're not ready for what comes after. Yep. Yes, indeed. There are so many people that have not ever had a right taken away from them. They have no idea. Well, they're about to. I mean, in reality, they already have. They just don't realize it yet. But just wait until the government decides to go into and look into people's medical records to make sure that they don't have some sort of substance abuse problem that they still either still have or have overcame. They can decide anything. How they can judge you based on anything if they want to, if they get into power. You're not going to have any rights. Labor rights, Department of Education will be gone. How many parents are going to be able to educate their children themselves? Especially if they're working 2 or 3 jobs just to survive. What happens with those kids? Are they just going to hang out at home alone? No, they'll be working. They want to do away with labor rights that protect children. Look into that history and why that came about. Why did we have laws protecting children from working in dangerous situations or working at all? Why did we say children should be in school, not at work? Why? Yep. Yeah. I happen to know several people who are making sure that their loved ones who are disabled to a certain point have their tubes tied, or, it's just to make sure that they are not forced to carry a pregnancy when they don't even, pregnancy would literally kill them. And we already know that people with disabilities, especially severe disabilities, chronic illness, etc., are abused. Statistically, the stats are bad with that. Exactly. It's hard to prepare if you have to work 3 or 4 jobs just to get by. And everything is so expensive, you can't afford to prepare. We're headed for another Great Depression on a level that will be worse than the first Great Depression. That's what we might be headed toward. Edward Fisher Brown. Okay. I'm bad with names. I might know what you're talking about, but I'm not sure. 80% more than people are not. Yep. Yep. Well, I'm glad for you that you did too, because the shitstorm that's coming up is... I know a lot of people think that I'm a conspiracy theorist on this. I don't like conspiracy theories. I don't like them. I'm not interested in them. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is what is actually happening. This is what the GOP and their base have said they are going to do. Right on, right on. All right, so tomorrow's Sunday. I'm probably not going to live stream tomorrow, but I'm going to start live streaming a lot because we have to start talking about these things. And I'm going to start showing videos and trying to help educate people. And some of the videos or the live streams are going to be shorter. It's easier for me to live stream than to sit there and edit videos and all that. I can have a faster turnaround. We have to get on it, and I need your help. Share this live stream on all of the different platforms. People think that this is all la-di-da. They have not seen the aftermath of the downfall of a democracy. They don't understand what is coming for them. Not fully. We have a period of time where we can pull it together, get the ERA taken care of, and force a hand recount. If you want to live free, and if you don't want to end up in a worse hellscape than we are already in, then I'm going to need your help. And everyone, all of you need to start talking about this and volunteer to help. Planned Parenthood, the Trevor Project, LGBTQ plus community centers, reach out to, just start there. There are all kinds of people activating and stepping up and doing all kinds of work to help all of us avoid this shit. But everyone has to step up and do the work. Trump is a con artist. And that is what he's done. He has conned his base. They don't realize what is coming. But they will soon. And by the time they do, it'll be too late. It's easier to say it's not real and bury your head in the sand and be like, oh my God, it's fine. And that's what people do right up until the democracy falls. And then the aftermath comes, and then they fucking realize, and then it's too late. Oh, right. Oh, God. Thank you for reminding me. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go. Robin, we might have to do like a team thing because it's hard for me to research all this stuff on my own, and like it's me here, right? Where was his name? I'm bad with names. I'm good with faces. Okay. I will look that up. So we might do a live stream about that too. Back in the day, kids would be working in like textile factories, just, I mean, you name it, and they would be maimed, killed. Then you had the t-shirt factory fire in New York. We know where these things lead. They lead to people being harmed and people having just horrific lives. Why would we ever want to go back to that? Like, Where does that make any kind of sense? It doesn't. My second great-grandfather was highly involved in writing the child labor laws that came out of that. Sadly, I think his work is probably going to be undone. Okay, well, let's do it. We have the Discord. Let's get on it. TikTok is a shit show. Literally today, I have blocked, hold on, 571 sock accounts today. That's not including yesterday. I wasn't keeping track yesterday. 500. Because I hit a nerve. When all of the rights are taken away from women, women are not allowed to give their opinions, thoughts, anything. Women are not allowed to go to school. Women are not allowed to get an education, go to college, vote. You have a choice of you either get married or you're a spinster. And jobs, you're not allowed to have jobs, bank accounts, credit cards, without a man co-signing. You are either the property of your father, husband, brother, brother-in-law. You are the property of a man. And if you don't have any men in your life, well, you're on your own. Crimes have been going up. It's hard to say because certain states are withholding the crime stats. So, yeah, I've had to do that too. I had some idiots up in the one video just like, oh my God. It doesn't matter if women don't have rights. Men will just take care of everything. Yeah, because that's worked out so well. Yes, they did. They started up hard, dude. Holy shit. Like on TikTok, it's ridiculous. I'm to the point I'm not even going to bother checking comments and all that stuff anymore. This is whatever. It's fine. I'm just going to upload stuff and then upload it here and on G and wherever. And TikTok is a shit show. Oh, and the D threats and the R threats, they don't even bother me anymore. I get them so much that I'm just like, yeah, whatever. It's bad over there. Yeah. Yep. The Cold War never ended, by the way. It paused for a little while, but it never actually ended. Yeah. I think that the whole incel movement and also the TERF movement was started purposefully to divide us, to make us weak on purpose. And how many men fell for that bullshit? How many large content creators on social media were paid by Pootie Poot? And what was one of the main things that they were pushing? Feminism is evil. Evil trans people. Yeah. Yeah. Disinformation. Listen. Lies. Lies and propaganda. I'm not into renaming things that we already have names for. Disinformation. No, it's lies. Straight up fucking lies and propaganda. That's what it is. Call it what it is. Call the anti-abortionists. Call them what they are: forced birthers, women haters, people who want women to die. That's what they are. Call it what it is. Here, there will be no 1984 bullshit going on at all. We're not doing that anymore. Nope. We are going to speak the truth, and if people get butthurt, it's not my problem. It's not your problem either. It's their problem. Yeah, it's just a prettier name for it. It's just lies. It's just bullshit. Just like Trump. Trump can't pay. Trump has not met a bill that he can actually pay, or a business he cannot bankrupt. He's a bumbling fuck idiot. Dude, when I tell you, when I was in college for my associate's degree, he was used as an example of what not to do. I'm not even kidding. Like, dude, I'll have to look and see if I still have the paper that it was a fucking group project talking about how a shitty businessman Trump is. Like, did you know he had a college that he bankrupted? I mean, oh God. The guy is as dumb as a box of fucking rocks. And a convicted felon. How is it that I have friends who are felons over dumb-ish, over whatever, right? They just couldn't pay their fines and fees in the way that they were supposed to. So they became a felon for it. I had one friend who became a felon because he jaywalked. I'm not even kidding. This guy was, when I say smart, that's an understatement, okay? He was jaywalking to get to work and ended up a felon. Thankfully, the judge saw what was going down and took care of it, so that took the felony off his record and all the charges and all this stuff, because the judge realized that it was bullshit. Because this guy was in college, astrophysicist. We're not talking about a dumb dude. But that's racism for you, and that's America. I mean, once all that got cleared up, he ended up leaving out and going to another country. Talk about brain drain. I'm sorry to hear that, Robin. That's just... Man, we're going to have all kinds of traps coming up, though. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. There's going to be a lot of that going around. There's another thing that's going to start happening, so be prepared. You're going to have a lot of babies who are found. Do you get what I'm saying? It's a damn shame. Oh, and then let's just talk about orphanages for a minute. Decree 770. Go look it up. I can cite my sources. After Decree 770 was put into place, women were forced to have, if you were a woman and you had a uterus that functioned, they would have doctors come to your fucking work and pull you off the line and check your uterus, look up your hoo-ha at work to see if you were pregnant. And if you weren't, you were in trouble. So they ended up with an ungodly amount of children in orphanages. And some of these orphanages, they would send babies who were, I forget the term, undesirable, to one certain orphanage in particular. And all of the children were just left there. And there's footage. You can go watch it. It's horrific. Trigger warning. They were left in their own filth, naked. Maybe they might have a blanket, shaved heads. They were sent to that orphanage to die. But many of them did survive in horrendous conditions. And that's what led to the dictator and his wife being pew-pewed next to a wall and their bodies just left there. When people realized what was happening in the orphanages, shit got real for them. Is that what it takes? Forcing women to suffer and children to suffer and men to suffer and just everybody to suffer for it to get through people's thick skulls that human beings shouldn't be treated like animals. Women are not brood mares. I was talking about Decree 770. I forget the name of the particular orphanage. But it was, I'd have to go look up the videos again. They're on YouTube. I forget the name of the one orphanage that God damn. Okay, so I'm taking tomorrow off. Monday, I don't even know how many. Listen, when I tell you I have a lot of tabs open, I might end up doing like 2 or 3 live streams when baby girl's at school. As long as the Department of Education is still rolling, and I'll be able to do that. All right, so do all the things. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I need all of the boosting you can do. Please. I feel like Cassandra. You know the story of Cassandra? Helen of Troy. Cassandra was blessed with the gift of foresight and then also cursed that no one would believe her. So, are you ready? Are y'all ready to help me get the word out there, get people to pay the fuck attention and do all the things? Because I will need help with this. I can't do this on my own. Oh, yeah, that was pretty bad. Hold on, everyone. Baby girl, I'll be right back. Oh. Sorry, I come back coughing. Hello, the official. How you doing? What's up? Yeah, but it doesn't have to be depressing if we galvanize and start fighting. It doesn't have to be depressing. It can be very joyful. Pulling together as a community and getting this work done. It can be very joyful. Let them know. I mean, I'm willing to pull together all of these resources and, do the videos and all the stuff. And, it's pretty draining for me, but we get to it, right? Yep. Well, I choose to be Queen Puabi, a monarch in her own right. So to the official, go say that to your mother's face or your sister or whoever. Go say that to them. Okay? You go say that directly into the face of a woman. See what happens. All right? Or shit, you can come say it to my face. I'm in Michigan, upstate. Come see me. We'll see how long you last in a fight. I think maybe 5 seconds. I'll break your ass in half. Guaranteed. Yeah, that was Twitch. Yep. This is what little boy thinks about women. He wouldn't even exist without women, but whatever. All right. Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah. Well, I'm a femdom, so I'm the one getting my feet massaged every day. Baby, 5 seconds. That's how long you would last. I already know that because I've fucking done that. Many times. You're like that big and it's limp. I'm not impressed. By the way, $450 an hour if you want public humiliation. My PayPal and Cash App, I do believe, are in my bio. That's not a joke, numbnuts. That's not a fucking joke. Bring that shit up to upstate Michigan. Say that to any woman in upstate Michigan, see what the fuck happens. You just have no idea. By the way, men would not exist without women creating you in the first fucking place. He's on Twitch. I mean, I'm just saying, you got some problems. You might want to just sit down and smile. You'll feel better. And then also, by the way, just let women do the heavy lifting of the thinking, being as your brain is so minuscule. By the way, you owe me $450, dude. He's on Twitch, so, you know. Okay, so here's another thing you're going to see as this is all happening. You're going to start seeing women getting really angry. And men will, have a heart attack or fall off a ladder or something. You didn't see that. That didn't happen. It was just an accident. Oh, fucking well, I guess. Yep. Especially when women realize this one dude is R-ing all kinds of women and knocking them up. And then they just take care of that. There were villages in Europe that had like hardly any men. And those men who were there were scared because they understood the assignment. But we'll just ignore all that. We've had women rulers who were fucking amazing throughout human history. But we act like that didn't happen. All the way back in ancient Samaria, Queen Puabi, look her up. Or we'll just do a live stream talking about her. Little boy is being all emotional. All right. It's been just over an hour. I'm going to get going. And I don't know if you can hear a baby girl running around. She's getting tall, y'all. Very tall. Let's talk about food. Food section. Food part. Maki made some meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and mac and cheese that was stunningly yummy. Like, it was ridiculous how good it was. In fact, I want some.
Okay, so
what?
Here's the thing about the meatloaf, though.
What?
It technically wasn't proper meatloaf because it didn't have milk-soaked bread in it.
I don't care.
I think that's why it was so good.
God, listen, that was too good. That was too good. Okay. Oh God. All right. Let's see. Are there any other assholes in here? Okay. General Sao, rice, crab rangoon. Oh, that sounds good. Man, crab rangoon is actually one of my favorites, even though I can't eat that, but oh, so good. It's not even right. Okay. All right. By Monday, I will probably have enough tabs open for like 10 live streams because I think I have like 5. Enough for 5 open right now. This is ridiculous. And I have to cut down on these tabs. It's without crab because I can't have that either, LOL. What do you use instead of crab, though? You're having homemade burgers tonight. That's not, listen, homemade hamburgers are the best, okay? Listen, restaurants can't compete with what Maki can do. It's just, they can't. I keep telling him that he should start like a pop-up kitchen or something. Listen, y'all don't understand. Right. I would try, though. To be fair, I would because it's just so good. I don't even have a Michelin star. It's sad. I mean, you do for me. I don't know if that helps. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get going. I'm getting tired. Monday, don't be surprised if you see me live streaming a whole bunch. And if you like my content, then share it all over the place. IG, Take a clip, make a clip, put it on IG and all that, and direct people over here. Because it's hard. It's really hard to bump up in the algorithm on YouTube. Real hard. But I'm not just doing this, for shits and giggles. This is an all hands on deck kind of thing. So the only star I need in my life is you. I'll try to be here as much as possible. Mom's treatments start Tuesday, so things will be crazy, but I should be here. Right on. Well, I mean, I wish I could give you a hug. All right. I love y'all. And maybe next time I'll use the light. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But remember, you have the right to say no. As of right now, do you want to keep it that way? I hope you do. You has me thinking. All right, y'all. I love you. Have a good night. And I will see you Monday. Bye.